Loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the New York Jets. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. To return it, Darius Phillips. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Burrow looking to pass. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And that's out quickly to Chase. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the 1st quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brings up 3rd and 3.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 21-yard line.
First carry for the former Tar Heel, Michael Carter. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Wilson. And that's complete. Albert Okwuegbunam. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Wilson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And he'll take this into the end zone for the Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Moore now to return. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Escaping the pressure right.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Oh, this defense for the Bengals, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Throwing is Wilson. Flushed out right. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Running right through him. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd and 2. Here's a give to Carter. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run with Carter. And now Carter going to be stopped up short. He did not get there. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. That's complete. Okue-Bunan. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. There's Wilson to throw. Throw right side complete to Carter. And the Jets are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll come out in the pistol. Carter. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now it's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals will take over here just shy of the 30. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the 31, Burrow. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quinnen Williams in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Looking to throw. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Runs through the contact. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw going to be caught by Davis.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Play action. It's Wilson. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. He's got his big tight end here. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now it's Burrow. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. John Franklin Myers, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the 1st down sack. Burrow trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Jets will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
They'll start on the ground. Carter. And some room to maneuver. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. 75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So down inside the 5-yard line, I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
They'll run with Carter. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run for it with Carter. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Michael Carter with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead. And oh, it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Burrow on play action. Now Burrow loses the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. There he goes, right side. Past the 20.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Wilson. And that's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Carlson is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Burrow. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike.
They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54. Pick it up. Pick it up. Mike, 54. Mike,
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Wilson. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returning it is Moore.
Let's go. Let's go.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Carter with it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
116 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
A handoff for Carter.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Being chased. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this is back to a 5-point game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Another run on 2nd down with Carter.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. To throw is Wilson. That is caught at the 7. Touchdown, Jets.
Albert Okwuegbunam.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here we go. Ready? Say hi. Hunt. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah.
Burrow will throw. Keeps himself upright.
Now Burrow loses the football.
And this will be scooped up in the end zone. The defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game.
Bengals 14. Daniel Carlson set to kick off.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
25-yard line. The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again.
Picked off by Jair Alexander. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll run on first down. Carter. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Another tote for Carter.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, Carter might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On second down, it's Carter. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 3rd down, here's Carter. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. They're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Quinnen Williams racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Ashton Davis.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Carlson now to add the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Next to score, Jets 43, Bengals 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
Bengals on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Burrow. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time, as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild. Here's the Jets punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals drive about to get going. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go play action with Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jets are going to get the football back. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing.